Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and welcome to a new video onto the channel today. As you've seen from the title of it, will Tottenham Hotspur ever win the Champions League? I was in Madrid for our Champions League final with Liverpool. It was depressing. It was a long day. So I thought I would ask Football Manager to look into the future for me to see whether that would ever happen again and we would make the Champions League final. Not only that, would we win it when we got there? So let's take a look if it happened. So our first stop is 2026. It's not a Champions League win, but we did win the Europa League. We beat Roma in the final of that, Watford in the semi-finals, Lazio in the quarters, Real Betis, Sampdoria. We had Zenit St. Petersburg, Austria Vienna and Nordsjælland in our group. So it's a Europa League final win, but not a Champions League one. Now into 2028, and we didn't qualify for the Champions League in this season, but again we've got a Europa League win. Everton were beaten in the final this time around. We knocked out Roma, Galatasaray, Shakhtar Donetsk, Copenhagen, Rosenborg, Maribor and Olympiacos along the way to another UEFA Cup final or Europa League final win, but it's not the Champions League. Let's keep going. Jumping ahead to 2034 under the stewardship of Gennaro Gattuso, formerly of AC Milan. We got to the semi-finals of the Champions League, so we are getting ever closer. We beat a lot of big clubs along the way. Atletico Madrid, Leipzig, Salzburg and Inter before eventually being knocked out by Real Madrid. Moving on to 2036 now, another Champions League semi-final defeat, this time to Red Bull Leipzig, but we did knock out Real Madrid and Sevilla in the knockout stages. Our group included Milan, Red Bull Salzburg and Brøndby. Moving into 2037, and it's our closest attempt yet to win the Champions League. We lost in the final after extra time to Manchester United. We saw off Red Bull Leipzig, Schalke and Milan in the knockout stages. We had a pretty tough group as well with Dortmund, Atletico Madrid and CSKA Moscow. We finally reach 2038 is the year. I will be considerably older than I am now. We have won the Champions League, beat Barcelona on penalties. Don't recognise any of the players that are playing in the game because obviously we are that far ahead of ourselves now. But we have won the Champions League. We beat Barcelona in the final in Belgrade of all places. And we saw off Valencia, Schalke, Bayern Munich. And a tricky group as well, to be fair. Dynamo Kiev, Fenerbahce and Milan. But we have won the Champions League. Do we win it anymore by any chance? Moving ahead to 2039, we make the final again, but we lose to Chelsea after extra time. This time around, we beat Liverpool, Bayern Munich and FC Porto on the way to the final. Lokomotiv Moscow, Lyon and Milan were in our group, still under the stewardship of Gennaro Gattuso. Skipping ahead to 2041, and it happened again. This time we beat Liverpool in the final, ironically, on the 1st of June, as was the Champions League final in real life just gone. We beat them 4-0 comfortably in the final, in Amsterdam, ironically as well, which is quite funny. So yeah, we took Liverpool apart in the Champions League final in 2041. We knocked out Dortmund, Monaco, Leipzig, and we're in a group with Legia Warsaw, Porto and Inter Milan. So there we are. We have added a few trophies to our collection. So the Champions League was won in 2038 and 2041, as I've just shown you. Runners up in 37 and 39. We won the Premier League title as well twice in the time since the current year. Lots of third place finishes, a couple of second place finishes. The Europa League obviously in there twice. The Cup World Cup twice as well. Now 11 times winners of the FA Cup. So it does happen. We do win the Champions League. Just not for a very long time. So there we go. We do win the Champions League eventually. 2038. Hopefully it won't take quite as long to win it. And hopefully Football Manager is right on the money. They normally are with these sort of things. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and would like to do so, please click the subscribe button down the corner. I hope you've enjoyed this little experiment of will Tottenham win the Champions League? Thankfully, the answer eventually was yes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.